A few of you sent me emails asking about factorials, and I was going to root through and find my old factorial videos from my trig class, but then I figured it would just be easier to do a quick little tutorial here. We just need a basic understanding of them for the purposes of this class, and essentially the idea is 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. You multiply all the numbers from n down to 1. So this is 24. 7 factorial is 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 5,040. And obviously, these get really big really fast. One thing I would point out that is important from this class, we've talked about linear growth and polynomial growth and exponential growth, and we've kind of classified our different growth rates. If I have a sequence or a series with factorials in it, then I have factorial growth, and factorial growth is faster than all the others. So if I'm trying to classify these things to determine if something converges or diverges, factorial growth is faster than exponential growth or anything else. We normally say that exponential is the fastest. Factorial is actually faster. So just keep that in mind, that is important. We can see how big it gets really quickly. But for the purposes of this class, we need to understand what factorials are, but there's also the algebraic way of writing and manipulating them. And you did some of this for homework, but the idea is n factorial, n is an arbitrary integer. I just multiply n by the next number down, which is n minus 1, then n minus 2, all the way down to 1. And there's my n factorial. If I had n plus 2 factorial, I start with the number listed, n plus 2, then I keep subtracting 1 until I get to 1. So n plus 2 minus 1 is n plus 1. Subtract 1, I get n. Then I get n minus 1, then n minus 2, and so on all the way down to 1. If I start with n minus 3 factorial, then I start with the number listed, and I just keep subtracting 1. N minus 3, then n minus 4, then n minus 5, all the way down to 1. And that's actually how we're going to use them in this class. For the most part, we won't be calculating things out with factorials and hitting buttons on our calculator. We'll be algebraically manipulating them. And the idea, to see how we'll use it, if I have something like n factorial over n plus 2 factorial, what does that converge to? And the easiest algebraic way to do it is to list it out. N factorial is n times n minus 1 times n minus 2, all the way down to 1. N plus 2 factorial is n plus 2, n plus 1, n minus 1, all the way down to 1. And I will point out, when writing these out, once you know how they work, you do not need to write out 6 or 7 of them like I did. This is just, if you're just learning this, helping you to be able to see what's actually going on. Because now, n cancels n minus 1 cancels n minus 1, and obviously all of this will cancel out. All I'm left with is n plus 2 on the bottom, and n plus 1 on the bottom. And that will always work for factorials. If I have 7 factorial over 5 factorial, that's 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And clearly all of that cancels, and I'm left with 7 times 6. And that kind of algebraic trick. If you were writing it out with numbers, you would do it automatically. You'd reduce the fraction, and it works out automatically. We're doing the same thing algebraically, writing them out long form and canceling out the things that are common. And with our factorials, stuff like that will always occur. As far as what you need to understand with factorials, that's pretty much it. You have problems from your homework that you get to work through. If you still have questions, feel free to email me or let me know, and I'll just make even more examples going through this. But this should get you through everything we need to get through for now.